Falling About with Jason Butler Harner, and he's starring in The Big Bend. And Jason, I think that you should start a 3-name club for actors.
So funny. I sometimes it feels pretentious, but I promise it's not. I got my equity card doing Macbeth with Alec Baldwin and Angela Bassett, and I had to choose my name. And I hadn't thought about it before, but since I was in the second grade, I was writing Jason Butler Harner on my pages because Butler is my mother's family last name, and I'm very close to that side of the family. So I was always putting that in, and Alec Baldwin was like, "You should change your name to Butler Harner," and I was like, "That's not gonna work." But yeah, sometimes I wish I had made it. You know, they say like a two one syllables are
Yeah.
better, but whatever. That's who I am. So
So that must have been such a kick for you to sign your first autograph.
yes, it's funny. It's also funny if you see things and how my autograph has changed, like all of our signatures and stuff change. I look at my dad's who used to have this really beautiful thing and it's changed. But yes, it's funny. It's when you sign the, show posters and stuff, I take up more space than other actors, and sometimes I feel bad about it.
I love your background. Tell me where you are. And
I'm
all your
currently in
colors are so beautiful.
Oh, I'm currently in Los Angeles. This is my office slash guest bedroom. I lived in New York City for 23 years. I come back and forth quite a bit. I miss New York. I want to do a play so badly. I
I
try to
hear you.
love it. Are you in New York?
I
Where?
am. Yes. Yes.
So I go back and forth. I used to do all theater, 4 or 5 plays a year, and the last play I did was a premiere of a play with Janet McTeer where we were lovers, and it was great. But anyway, so I'm in LA, and it's what they call May gray today, where it's very gray outside.
Well, you'd never know from the beautiful autumn feel that I'm getting from your
Thank you. There's all kinds of wonderful knickknacks. That's my dog painting.
your
This is
dog's name is Toupee, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, you've been online. Yeah, his name is Toupee because he has a little round spot.
Oh, that's so cute. So
Yeah.
tell me about the trajectory of your career. You were born in
Elvira, New York. Yeah, and when I was 5, we moved to the suburbs of Virginia because my mom, it was kind of a big deal. I was born in 1970, and my mom was recruited to be a VP of communications for United Way of America.
oh yeah.
And that was also without a degree. She's just really smart. And so we moved there. It was a big change. And I was raised there. We bounced around a lot, divorce, all kinds of stuff. And then I went to TC Williams. It's now retitled, but that Remember the Titans movie is based on my high school. And went to school in Richmond, spent a year in Louisville as an apprentice, moved to New York, hustled my butt off, did a bunch of off Broadway plays when you could do them when there were spaces. And
I
then
want you to know I saw a
uh-oh.
cock.
That's that's one of the I have to say, like there are plays that are big ones in your life and they're great workouts, and it's one I love so much. I love it. It was a great play, great play.
I never know what to expect when I'm going into the theater. I don't want to know. And
Yeah.
my boyfriend at the time looked at me and he said, "What is this?"
When you, for the listeners and stuff, just there's a play by Mike Bartlett, who's an incredible English playwright. He wrote a play called Cock. It's like a cockfight, and
Right.
they built a plywood in the round
It was
ring
so cool.
that had a green floor. So you had to walk into this thing, and there were just seats up, which unfortunately were very uncomfortable. But there'd be like a cushion, and you'd be sitting there, and then somebody else's feet. So it's just raked up. Somebody else's feet were at your butt. It was just a green floor with these neon lights, and it was just language, no indicating, no furniture. It was just language in a cockfight where Corey Michael Smith, who's gone on, this launched him. He is in love with two people, a man and a woman, and he can't make up his mind, and he's capitulating, and it's very, very funny and deeply moving. It's the it's the sweetest spot of where I feel I'm my best and certainly having my most fun. So I love it very much.
Yeah, you were so good in it. And then I just like said, who is this guy? I've got to watch him. So
Oh,
you're in this movie now called The Big Bend, and
yeah.
it takes place in like the most beautiful landscaping, but I don't know about you, I have horrible vertigo.
Oh,
So
oh,
I
so the
couldn't
scene on the
watch
cliff.
half of those scenes.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a friend who has really bad vertigo. And when I know there's something that can happen in the ear and all the things you got to do. So I'm sorry for that. And my husband has severe a fear of heights. So there's a couple scenes in the movie that he just can't watch. A, it's scary emotionally, but also there's a scene in the movie where I'm on a cliff and I genuinely was on a cliff. This is a low budget film, and I definitely was like on a cliff, and he's for complicated reasons is trying debating about taking his own life. It's kind of one of my favorite scenes in the movie, actually.
It's quite something. So were you not at all scared? Like you knew nothing's going to happen to me, I will be fine, or
I like I've bungee jumped, I've parachuted a few times. You know, I like that stuff. I like a friend of mine, I went to whatever. I like roller coasters, even though also as you get older, your sense of balance changes. So I wasn't afraid. There's one shot where they had a little teeny tether line. I've done like some of my own stunts and stuff, and I love it. This was at low budget. It was like it was safe, but it was like a line with I think the guy who's like out in the wood, you know, in the his name is Donnie Dust. He's the kindest guy. He's been on Survivor and stuff. He's the big guy. He and the stunt person were like holding the line. I was like, okay, you guys, please. So no, I wasn't. It's also why you do these films where you get to be. I would never go to it's a park, it's a national state park, the Big Bend. It's either the largest or the second largest. And it's hard for people to see and just it's so caught beautifully by our DP Paul Atkins, which can be hard to do.
it's
But
gorgeous.
the very first image scene I love in the film is like it's a very long ride trying to let you ease into the magical expanse of it. But you know, you fly into El Paso and then you drive 3.5 hours and you're in this cool arts thing called Marfa, which has gotten some uh, airtime. And then you go
In
another hour.
Texas.
Yeah, all in Texas. And then you go another hour and a half, 2 hours, and then you are there. And you are, I mean, you're really in the middle of nowhere. It's people who really want to live off the grid. There, of course, is no cell service, very limited Wi-Fi service. So
A
it
fun
made for
time.
a challenging time. And it was the summer, so 120 every day, and scorpions and tarantulas, and when it rains, it floods. So it was quite a we had some real challenges and kid actors in the heat who were lovely, but also like it was tough. It was tough. There are certain things, there's something magical that can happen on an independent film set, which is part of the reason, obviously, roles, the kind of roles that I get to do, which are more representative of who I am as a person, then I have a lovely career, but I tend to play roles all because of the initial movie I did that are sort of conflicted and dangerous. And people are always funny when they meet me and they're like, "You're not like him at all." And I'm like, "No, it's called acting." Like, but anyway, but on an independent film set like this one, it's about being able to communicate with each other. It's fast, so you have to sit in things. And there were some scenes that, especially with kids, you just have to go with where they are and also parent them. I don't have kids. I have a dog now, but it's
A dog
interesting.
is just like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I have to say, I've become one of those. When I moved to LA, I was like, everybody brings their dogs, and I have become one of those people. He's
You're
amazing.
a dog daddy.
I never had an animal. He's my first real dog, and he was a rescue, and he's just so sweet. Anyway.
Aw. So here's a good segue from there. You're playing, and I don't want to give too much away, but you're in this film Sugar with
hmm
Colin
Well, the
Farrell.
finale is this Friday.
I
So
loved that show so
I'm
much,
so
really.
glad. It was special one for a number of reasons, not the least of which is I got to live at home, which hasn't happened in a long time. And Yeah, so and Amy Ryan is a very close friend. So when we got to who I met doing Crimes of the Heart at Second Stage many years ago. And so that was fun. And Colin, I play Colin Farrell's best friend, and he's just heaven. He's just
He's
the
grand.
kindest, funniest, of course, beautiful, an incredibly gifted actor. We shot it in 2022 when they were gearing up for the Banshees of Inisherin Oscars. And yeah, he's just the best. He's the
Mm.
best. And there's quite a, the one reveal has come out from episode 6, which is a huge twist, which I guess
Huge.
we won't reveal, even though it's out there and it's been written about. I don't
I
know.
hate when that happens. I
I
hate
know.
when that happens.
It's a twist that you will never see coming, and which when I read it on the page, I was like, what? There's some big reveals in our friendship, our beloved friendship from um long history, long places, we'll say,
Yes.
that come out.
Oh,
I don't think they've officially picked it up for the second season. I
oh, they
really hope they do
should.
because I think they
Yeah.
want to. I think he wants to do it. God knows I would love to do it if I get to be a part of it. But
And then you've got another streaming show coming up,
ooh,
Monsters.
I'm really lucky. I've just finished, or I think I finished Monsters, the Menendez brothers with Ryan Murphy, and I play a good detective who was a real person, Les Oziel. No, excuse me, Zoeller. Oziel is the shrink who recorded them. And anyway, I have that coming up. I have a show coming up that's going to be so great called Clipped, um, with Jackie Weaver, and well, all my stuff is with Jackie and Harriet Harris and Corbin Burnson. So that's about the Clippers scandal with the when the girlfriend of one of the owners, Sterling, she recorded him saying all these racist things.
Oh, okay.
That's great, Monsters. And then I have another independent movie coincidentally coming out the same weekend that we shot in the pandemic with two young filmmakers. It's their first film called Edge of Everything, which they really turned out also like the Big Ben, something really unique and beautiful. And it's nice. They're both, unfortunately, in LA. They're both premiering at the same time on Friday in two different theaters. So I have to see if I can bounce back. What a great problem to have, especially
Oh,
after
yeah,
this
totally.
very slow time. But
So talk more about Monsters. Did you actually meet with the detective? Did you sort of,
he's dead. Unfortunately, he's dead. But
oh, then that would be a problem.
that would be a problem. But so I did a bunch of research. I talked with a lot of LAPD. I was able to talk to people who were junior detectives who were there on the night when they went to the house to discover them. I talked to his one of the guy. There was this group of detectives. I was the lead detective, but there's a group of detectives, and obviously they're retired or gone now. I talked to one of them. There was a tech consultant, police tech consultant, where I learned a great number of things. And yeah, it's the bureaucracy of a police department with all its complications is really it's interesting, and I think in the nature of storytelling for a police detective line on a much bigger issue like the Menendez brothers in terms of what that function is. It's not like there's a lot of the nuances of bureaucracy within the LAPD is far from important, but it was very interesting for me to consider as I went into playing him and how it all goes down. There's moments as an actor. It can be on stage, as I just said, or it can be anywhere. I like Ozark was a monumental experience for me. And there's moments when I got killed and I'm getting dragged down a
What? No.
when I get getting dragged down a river as the sun was setting and it started to rain, and this is it. And it's also the end of 2 years of my life and of something I cared about so much. And in a community, it's a big part of who I am as an artist. That's why I like the theater, coming from the theater, the community that you build. And anyway, there's moments where you laugh, whether you're on a cliff or in this instance, like trying to keep your eye open while you're dead, getting dragged down a river. And those are the moments where you think like, well, this is what it is to be an actor. These are the fun moments. It's not all this other mishigas and business dumb
Yeah.
shit, but so.
Were you a kid actor in the Clint Eastwood movie or
No, no, I was like in my early 20s, I think, mid 20s. I had
Mhm.
gone to NYU grad school.
We're talking about, of course, your debut.
Changeling, yeah, that
Yeah.
was what it's called. It's a Angelina Jolie movie. She was nominated for an Oscar. Clint Eastwood, amazing for my first big film to be a Clint Eastwood film.
Oh, yeah. Can't even
And
imagine.
I had just done this incredible trilogy of Tom Stoppard's. I've done a lot. I've premiered a number of Tom Stoppard's plays in America and done a bunch of them. I tend to play on stage frequently very melancholy, funny, erudite men. So it was like Tom and the Glass Menagerie with Sally Field or Trofimov and Cherry Orchard with Annette Bening. And that's where I met Sarah Paulson. And anyway, so this was a 12-hour play, three parts. And I played Trofimov from like 20 to 65 or something. It was amazing. When I came off of that, which was another colossal American theater experience for me, I was like, "Ugh, I'm always melancholy. I'm always emotional. I never get to be dangerous." And then careful what you wish for, or be conscious of what you manifest. Because then Changeling came along, and that's a real person, Gordon Northcott, who kidnapped little boys and killed them. He didn't sexually assault them, but he was pretty horrible and damaged and came from all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I had done a lot of research on him, and that was a very special thing. Clint, um, he likes a very quiet set, and there's focus, but not tense focus, and he trusts everyone to do their job. And you only get a couple of takes. Like I'd been warned from other actors I know, like just know, like
Mm.
you go. And that was also helpful as a theater actor to think, okay, I'm not warming up into this. And that was my first bad guy that kind of set the die for a while. It's changed finally. I can't wait for a comedy on
Oh,
screen.
yeah.
We made
Balls
a short
out
film.
comedy. That's what you
Exactly.
need.
We made a short film in 2022 that was the first short film. Mickey, my partner, Ari's in it exactly. Kate Burton, Chris Perfetti, Mary Beth Barone, this incredible comedian, and Josh Myers. We made a short film called The Anne Frank Gift Shop that's really funny
Oh,
and really
yeah.
moving. And it miraculously made it to the Oscars shortlist this year, which was never the goal. But it was so nice. Mickey, my partner, wrote it for me specifically to be what I tend to do on stage, which is also sort of English funny guys. And so it was nice to get to be funny and have something more than a high maintenance episode, which I love, but to send people and be like, please just look at this. Please look at this.
Oh, that's so cool. So when you do these really heavy duty, deep characters, you must have crazy dreams.
I do have crazy dreams. It's a little different now, but when you do a play or when you're in a film, I'm not one of those actors who does a full deep dive, what we sometimes call the method and stays in character the whole time, but I do need to focus in a different way. And I've been lucky to work with actresses who I marvel at, like Julianne Moore or Elizabeth Moss, who is also an incredible director, producer. When I was on Handmaids, they're able from their lifetime and careers to be like laughing and telling a joke, and then they're like, oh, okay, action. Like that's not my or Sarah Paulson can do that too. That's not my way. I need focus and quiet and in thinking about the characters. It definitely affects your dreams. That's part of actually what I do, where I invite things to come into my dreams to sort of give inspiration. And oh, what's happening? That was on dreams and inspiration. Some gesture brought balloons up. Anyway,
That's
so
hysterical. I love it.
that's funny. When
The
I did Long
timing.
Days, yeah, I know, right? When I did Long Day's Journey into Night, which was a big play after I got out of grad school, I did it at San Francisco in this beautiful theater. And It was with an actor, Joseph Summer, and Pamela Peyton Wright, and Marco Barricelli. When you're living in a 3-hour, 40-minute O'Neill heavy play, that was heavy lifting, and just in a really tough place for like 2.5 months. And then there's such freedom, because people always forget with the theater that even though it's not a musical, your your day is prepping, especially if it's a big emotional thing. Your day is conserving and being conscious, and then prepping yourself for these incredible 3 hours, and that's the part that's hard for people to quite appreciate, what that dedication and time of your life is. I don't know how people who do musicals, I don't know how they survive. A lot of my friends are in Tony stuff now, where there's also a million events you have to go to now, and the voice conservation and the energy stuff. I don't know how they do it. I know it's hard, but enviable, and a champagne problem, as they say, a champagne problem.
Yes. John Leguizamo once said that acting on the stage was like the Olympics of acting.
It really is. I like it. I like my body to be involved that way. I
Mhm.
like the direct experience with the audience. I like you're kind of your own editor, because everyone has agreed in rehearsal that this is what we've made. This is the thing. But then, of course, nightly, it goes wherever it goes, and you can feel an audience's energy from their attention span to where they're laughing, or are they getting this? And that there's a dialogue, there's a communal dialogue, which also, you know, whatever's happening in the state of the theater right now, I believe that there's a DNA need for us to have communal experience, even though a lot of people growing up now who don't have a religion that you go to on Saturday or Sunday, or have some communal experience, they may not know it, but then when you're in it, it's actually doing something for you, and I, whatever, not to get too far here, but compassion for the world and for your neighbor, which, boy, are we in high demand of. So
Oh yeah, there's nothing
on
like that
stage,
communal experience for sure. What was like the most embarrassing time you've had on stage? Because everything is like live and that's it.
here's a good one, actually. When I did this play, The Paris Letter, Robbie Bates, it was Ron Rifkin and John Glover, and I was playing the young John Glover. And the play opened with Ron Rifkin and I fighting, or are they kissing? And then I had a fast change and I kill myself. And then I have a fast change and we're all at dinner. And I put on this Hugo Boss suit and I came running out, and I just felt something. I didn't even stretch. I just felt something. And as I was walking out, I looked back at the wardrobe person, and she was like, and my pants had split from the waist, or top of my ass, all the way down one leg. And it was just open. And I knew that Ron had an onstage giggle problem. So I was changing the blocking, and I had to bring a chair down and do all this stuff. So I was walking and trying to justify it. And Michelle Park saw it, and John Glover saw it, and Erik Gold saw it, but Ron hadn't seen it yet. And he was getting angry at me because he was like, what is he doing? And then finally he saw it. And it was one of those, now I'm saying for the third time, I love church laughter. It's kind of my favorite thing. And we were on stage, and we all just were laughing hysterically. How does New
Well,
York?
Jason, it was such a pleasure, really
Thank
such a
you.
pleasure.
By the way, I need to say the film is
Yeah,
this week. It has a full week run in LA, and then it's going to go to Austin. And then we're waiting, we'll know soon, where it can be seen from home and stuff like that. I will say, if you ever do have an opportunity, because the cinematography is so stunning, if you ever have an opportunity to see it on a larger screen, really, really do it. And the score is pretty spectacular. So
agreed,
you can see
agreed.
me on a cliff.
There you go. It's a cliffhanger.
It is a That's funny. Thank you so
All
much.
righty. Take good care.
I will, you too.
Bye-bye.
Always news.
Always refreshing.
Always candid.
Always milling about.
Robin Milling delivers what celebrities are saying to you.